I love going into the woods to be with nature and to be with myself, to connect with myself, to meditate, to find a little bit more of my identity. And I didn't always like to be silent or be alone. Actually, I'm the oldest of 8, so I essentially grew up with mass chaos. There was always something going on. There was always, a fight between 2 of the kids, or someone tugging on your pant leg asking for a snack, or someone asking you to play video games with them. And I was really used to that until the day that I moved out of my parents' house. And that was a really tough period of time in life because I came face to face with silence, mind-numbing silence. And it was the most intense loneliness I had ever experienced before. There was no one waking me up in the morning by shaking me. There was no one, talking to me during breakfast. I was just all by myself. I went for walks by myself, and that loneliness started to turn into depression. In my last video, I talked a little bit about a period of time in my life where I lost everything that I attached my identity to. I didn't have my job anymore, or my apartment, or my relationship. All I had was space, time, and loneliness. During that time, I found myself asking the question, am I enough? Me, Cameron, all by myself, am I enough? And for the first few months, the answer came back, absolutely not. You need all this external validation. You need this. Essentially, you need to fit into a group. I was asking that question, am I loved? Am I enough? Am I valuable? And the answer was not coming back good for me. I didn't fit in anywhere. I didn't have any group or any sort of validation to make me feel like I was okay. But during that time, I did a lot of meditating. I did a lot of reading. I just took a lot of time to connect with myself. And I found that over time, I discovered things about myself that I never knew. The answer, am I enough, actually started coming back. Yes, you, Cameron, are enough all by yourself, without any of this external validation that you've been seeking or looking for. And that was incredible. And I was able to take that and begin to apply it to the rest of my life. Loneliness is a really interesting thing because when we feel loneliness, there's so much temptation to try to numb it. It's easy to try to numb loneliness with television, or with endless notifications, or with texting people, or with posting things, or with hanging out with people who actually don't make you feel that great about yourself, but hey, it's something to kill the time. I think it's so tempting to just try to kill time instead of being in the time that we're experiencing. It's so tempting to not just sit with the loneliness. What I have learned about emotions is that it's a lot healthier to observe them and to be okay with them than to judge them and try to get rid of them. Numbing them doesn't really work. Trying to make ourselves not feel them doesn't really work. They're there, and that's okay. And I think it's good to just observe them and let them be. I wonder if loneliness is a sign of growing up. As I've gotten older, I've found that I fit in less and less groups. The interesting thing is, I think other people might slot me in those groups. Oh, you're one of these people, or you're in that group, or you're this type of person or that type of person. But ultimately, I feel a little bit hollow and empty, and like none of those groups actually connect with me on the level that I'm hoping to be connected with on. And so there's this ache, there's this loneliness. And I think as we get older, it's important to sit with that loneliness and let it be and ask why it's there and interact with it instead of just trying to make it go away. What I am finding is that as I learn more and more and more about myself, I'm lonely not because I don't fit in or I'm not good enough. I'm lonely because I am good enough. And I don't fit in because, frankly, I'm unique, and I'm the only one who needs to give myself acceptance. And you're the only one who needs to give you acceptance. And so we run around trying to find acceptance from all these people and all these groups who are different than us, who are becoming themselves, who are doing something differently than we're doing, and we wonder why we're not okay. It almost makes me think of a butterfly. If you are, a caterpillar your whole life, and then you start to begin to become a butterfly, you wrap yourself up in a cocoon, and then instead of pushing through that difficult time, you just say, man, I really miss hanging out with all these caterpillars. And so you stay still and you try to blend in and you try to fit the group, even though you're actually becoming something different, something beautiful, something far beyond. And I'm not trying to compare any of the people in your life to caterpillars. I'm simply saying it's okay to embrace the loneliness and the difficulty of where you're at, and to embrace the fact that you're becoming something unique, and you're learning and you're growing, and that's a painful process. I think it's okay to look at the loneliness in your life and say, I just want to observe it. I want to transcend the place where I'm sitting in the loneliness, and I just want to look at the loneliness and say, that's interesting. That's part of who I am, and that's okay, and I accept that. And over time, the loneliness, I think, will begin to morph itself into self-acceptance. As you stare into the void, and as you take time to meditate, you take time to connect with yourself and find out who you really are, and you start to appreciate a little bit at a time what makes you you. All of a sudden, you'll find that you're turning into something entirely different, and you're able to fly a little bit. I think it's a beautiful thing, but it starts with taking that loneliness and embracing it as a friend. And it starts with asking yourself that question, am I enough? And giving yourself enough time to answer, yeah, I am. Just by myself. I don't need to fit in this group. It's okay that I don't fit in perfectly. I probably won't. It's okay if they like me. It's okay if they don't like me. No matter what, I am me, and I am enough.